What's up, guys? It's your boy Yeet here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're coming at you back again with a video I haven't done in a very long time. It's a deck profile, and since I've been playing a lot of Vanguard, on my own online, decided to dust up my old decks, even build a new one. So I decided to go through and recap all my decks and some of their upgrades. Some of them haven't changed that much, but I still want to go through them all again since. My area is open and back on the green, so maybe I might be able to take these decks and go play in a tournament someday. But let's go on with this deck profile. Today I'm coming at you with my Naval Gazer or Budget Aqua Force deck. This deck is very cheap. You can build this deck, with a Leon Soryu deck and then not even $10 left to finish the rest of this deck. So it shouldn't be that hard for you to build, but it's really consistent, and you play this deck with an Excel 2 marker, preferably. So without further ado, let's get on to the deck profile. And if you guys enjoy this deck or any other deck and you want to see more deck profiles, leave a like and subscribe, and comment what you think about the deck, because I'm always open to opinions. But let's get on started with the deck. For grade 3s, which we play 8 of in this deck, we have 4 copies of Naval Gazer Dragon. He's your main boss ride of the deck. He has Imaginary Gift Axel or Axel 2. When it attacks, if it's the third battle that turn or more on Vanguard Circle, counterblast 1, stand one of your rear guards, and this unit gets plus 10k until the end of that battle. Really staple grade 3. It's consistent, and it's its skill is very effective. If you stand on the XL2 marker with something like Algos or Lazarus, you're going to be hitting some decent number, and especially if that unit is going to be boosted by Dorothea with her effect, or Penguin Soldier's Rest. It's going to be hitting a lot of big numbers. So that's Naval Gazer. Then we have 4 copies of Fort Vessel Dragon. Since this is a budget deck, I didn't have options to play Maelstrom, which I don't have Maelstrom anyway. But I personally like Fort Vessel Dragon, even if this isn't a last card Revan deck. Because Fort Vessel Dragon, it reminds me of Veneracy Pedalstorm Shiryuki, as in when it is placed on Vanguard Circle, I can counterblast one and my opponent's Vanguard is stripped to 5,000 power to the end of the turn, making this a really good, I want to hit big numbers, I want to rush you turn, ride Fort Vessel Dragon, Axel 2, draw 1 card, put your my opponent's Vanguard 5,000 lower, make a big rush board, attack for multiple attacks, make my opponent waste a lot of hand cards. Really consistent, but that's Fort Vessel Dragon. Then we are on to the grade 2s. 4 copies of Marine General of Restless Tides Algos, one of your biggest multi-attackers of the deck, since this is a budget deck based off of Leon and Soryu. If it's a Vanguard, when it attacks, if the second battle of that turn or more, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, and stand one of my other rear guards. But if it's on the rear guard, when it attacks, if it's the first battle of the turn, counterblast 1 and stand Algos. So really good for multi-attacks. Really good on the Excel Circle too. This is who I put mostly on the Excel Circle, and that's how it goes. Sorry. Next up on the grade 2s, we have 4 copies of Tier Knight Lazarus. So Lazarus, when Lazarus attacks, if it's the second of that battle a turn or more, he gets plus 3k until the end of the battle. So really good for hitting big numbers. Most likely, it's always going to be a 12k attacker, because I always, strategize to make it a 12k attacker. Then the last grade 2 of the deck, which is, by the way, there's 12 grade 2s. 4 copies of Storm Rider Basil. So Basil isn't really seen that much often, but I like it in my budget deck. I considered taking apart most of this deck and just making it a Blue Wings deck, which is probably going to happen, a Blue Wings Naval Gazer deck. But for now, I have this as multi-attack Aqua Force. So Storm Rider Basil is when it attacks a Vanguard, if it's the third battle of the turn or more, counterblast 1, and this unit gets plus 5k until the end of battle. If it's the fourth battle of that turn or more, this unit gets plus 10k instead of 5k. So it's just good for hitting really, really big numbers to break down my opponent's shields. And if it comes down to it, Basil is like one of the best units you can also stand with Naval Gazer, since Naval Gazer will stand it and add 10k to himself, making it easy for attacks or more to add another 19k on the Excel Circle. That's it for grade 2s. On to the grade 1s. Staple grade 1 in pretty much almost every Aqua Force deck is 4 copies of Tier Knight Theo. Tier 9 Theo, when its attack or the attack that it boosted hits a Vanguard, if it's a second battle of that turn or more, one of your units gets plus 8k until the end of the turn, which is really good for hitting big numbers. That's Theo. Then off to the other grade ones, we have 4 copies of Light Signal's Penguin Soldier. I only have 2 Congratulations and 2 OG Penguins, but still, when you can rest Penguin Soldier and the unit in front of it gets plus 5k until the end of the turn, even if it attacks and restands. And when your other unit attacks, if it's the 4th battle of that turn or more, I can retire this unit and countercharge 1 if I so need it so. But I rarely use the countercharge for effect. I just use it to add 5ks or just be an AK booster. And since this is a budget deck, and I don't have access to Pascal, we have to play the Battle Siren in Imelda. If you do have access to draw PGs, you can replace Battle Siren in Imelda with another grade 1 of your choice, and then replace my draw triggers, which is going to be Proximity Communication Sea Otter Soldier, for your draw PGs. But it's just a standard Sentinel. And then the last grade 1 of the deck is 1 copy of Battle Siren Dorothea, which is she counterblasts 2, and one of your other units gets plus 8k until the end of the turn. Another good for making hitting big numbers. That's it for the deck. For the regular cards, onto triggers, I play 4 crit, 4 front, because this is a multi-attack deck, so I want to have big numbers on all my columns. 4 draw, 4 heal, and then your starter. And that's pretty much it for the Aqua deck. It's a kind of a shorter video, but there's not real much to explain out of the deck. If you guys enjoyed this deck, do me a favor and leave a like, comment on the deck below. Tell me what you think. I didn't really want to go too much on depth because, well, I did explain the cards, but the card choices are pretty self-explanatory for a budget deck. Like I said, it's pretty much based off of Leon Soryu's trial deck. If you want to see Naval Gazer, not Naval Gazer, if you want to see Maelstrom, I go recommend Kira Qualia's deck for that, because if I had to build a deck, it's really similar to that. Actually, almost be card for card. But otherwise, thank you guys for tuning into the deck profile. Have a good day. This is Yaboyi signing out. I'll see you guys here for the next deck profile. Peace.